Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel, where if you've been following me, you have been listening to every album by Arca underneath the KicK series. And that, of course, we listed the first two, KicK 1 and KicK 2. Personally, I enjoyed KicK 1 more than KicK 2. I thought KicK 2 kind of lacked a sense of structure in some of the tracks and felt like more ideas than they were fully fleshed tracks, whereas KicK 1 had far more fleshed out bangers, in my opinion. That being said, today we're checking out the album that many people were excited for in this, series that she did. That, of course, being KicK 3. One thing before we get started today, I just want to say if you want to see the full unedited reaction to this album, go ahead and check out the description down below. For $5 a month, you'll get this video and every other KicK album reaction unedited for just $5 on the Patreon. KicK 3 is 12 tracks in only 35 minutes, meaning I'm expecting some quick, absolute high energy bangers as expected from Arca at this point. I'm also excited considering the fact that I read that this album is a portal directly into the more manic, violently euphoric, and aggressively psychedelic sound palettes in the series, which sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. But without further ado, let's just get into this album today. Let's just kick it off. I'm excited. That, of course, being the first track here, Bruja. Here we go.
Oh, shit.
With a gunshot right away, a signature sound of hers. Turn this bad boy up. Love how sparse yet hard hitting the track, the beat is right away, I should say. Also, in terms of her delivery, love how sporadic it is, kind of matching the beat's energy. Getting quite kinky in these lyrics as well, which loving it. Full embrace of her personality. I'm sorry. Only Arca could slip in a line. Did I stutter? Hear me roar while I'm shitting on the pavement. Delivered in such a way of full confidence. There's no fear in her voice. No embarrassment. Loving the energy. Oh yeah, let's just dive right in. Pushing it to the max here. A very manic track. Quite sexual. Arca's getting, pushing it to the limits. It's like we're in the midst of some just high octane, all consuming orgy or something here, like a whirlwind. Love the beat on this one, just everything about it. This one's super well mixed. Love that almost breath. A great way to... Oh. Love that first track. Oh my god, the energy is insane right off the charts, right from the beginning. Let's go into Incendio. Love that first one. It was just super manic. The energy palpable. Like, just a powerful opening track. I'll say that. And I liked it far more than KicK 2's opening track, I should say. I thought the first track on that last LP was... to me, underdeveloped and was more there for a grotesque sort of display of what's to come on the album, maybe a teaser, whereas this, it just dives into the album. There's no time wasted. Here's Incendio, continuing.
Incendio. Bruja la sangre que corre por las calles. Bruja la sangre.
Love how kind of mechanical the record sounds.
Quemando este cuerpo. Chimándome los huesos.
Love the Bruja.
Chimándome los huesos.
Very playful, a lot of the energy on this one. Not as dark as the last album. Oh my god. That like very calculated beat, very slow and prodding, and yet her delivery as rapid, I think, as we've ever heard her. And I love it. Now we're just right back to this. Love this track. The shifting tones, the instrumental, constantly evolving. This would go hard in like a rave. We are just ascending to the heavens. Love the clicking. Very trippy, this track. It's quite a psychedelic journey with the reverb. Another banger, an absolute banger is what it is. Here's Morbo, 2 tracks in, both fantastic. KicK 3 certainly feels more fleshed out and more honed in on the idea it wants to execute here. Here is Morbo. Wonder if this will continue. And keeping the kinkiness, you know, to the max. What a warbly mix this is. Very bouncy synths. I like this synth that's buried in the mix now, coming back up to the forefront. Oh my god, the production. It's so clean, so crisp. Wow. So far, in terms of just production alone, I think Arca is really mastering it on this one. The first 2 kicks, you know, production-wise, were fantastic. Even if I wasn't a fan of the kind of atmosphere of the second record, production-wise, it was still very sharp, very clean, very crisp, just as expected from Arca. But here, I feel like it is the most fleshed out it's ever been, and just the overall kind of evolving kind of tones and the way everything is kind of pushed and dynamic and spaced out in a way where everything is crystal clear when you really focus on it. Feels like the production is the key element, you know, being polished here. Vocally as well, obviously fantastic. As you know, bizarre and out there as she likes to get with it. Here's Fiora. And I loved how short that one was, and yet it felt very, very rich in its sound. This one, no lyrics from what I gather. Just focusing on the bassy production here. Oh. I love that. Very deep bass. This might be the best track. I don't know. I'm loving what I'm hearing. It's super catchy. This one could just really ride out. It's just such a catchy, jammy, evocative mix. The very rapid beat, a strong element of the DNA of this track, and yet I feel like we've gone into so many different avenues and different detours throughout this track. Constantly evolving. Like I said, I'm loving. Nothing feels repetitive on this album. Yeah, dial it back. Just one last little idea here to close it out. Wow. Fiora. An incredible track. 4.5 minutes, the longest track so far, and definitely has the greatest sort of display of challenging the form there in terms of production. Continually evolving, like I've been saying, but I just thought it was the most expansive, but also I thought it was maybe her most accessible. I think the vocals might put a lot of people off. I personally have kind of grown accustomed to them and enjoy them on a lot of tracks, even when she does pitch them out and drop them very rapidly at times. But I've got to say, I thought Fiora was just super catchy and really embracing the banger energy of her sound on this one. Here's Skullqueen, which that's a cool title. I think these vocals would put a lot of people off. But it fits so well within this world she's crafted. Kind of ambient as well. Some of these more gentle elements. Very tranquil in a way. Oh, man. And this calm down, so gentle. God. Glitching out those vocals. Quite lo-fi in the production here. I like it. So we bring it back down to earth. Wow. That one was like surprisingly gorgeous and pretty at the end, which I feel like Arca and the words, pretty in terms of music, don't always go hand in hand. She certainly likes to embrace the very just pulverizing sounds at times, but that one, it was just such a sweet ending. I like the more lo-fi ambient elements that she worked into that one as well. I really hope we see more of that on the rest of the LP and just in general in her music. Electra Rex. Also really cool titles on this one. Electra Rex. I like the kind of rattly metallic finish on this one. Oh, maybe the most sexual in nature too in terms of the KicK LPs. Maybe when she's speaking Spanish on the previous one, she's also getting quite sexual. I can't speak for that, but as for her English lyrics, she's not holding back whatsoever. a full embrace of personality and sound, I feel like. I like the growing outro once again. Really letting it just kind of play out. Oh, and it cuts off abrupt. Let's go into ripples. I love that stark drop right into ripples too. Very abrupt. Really nothing to add here. It just sounds great. At this point, I think this is the best album I've heard in the KicK series. I could firmly say that, actually, because while I enjoyed a lot of elements of KicK 1, I didn't think it was perfect, whereas every track here is just nailing it. And like, I just love how full and fleshed out a lot of these ideas feel. She really lets a lot of them fully breathe, expand. Ripple make ripples. That it does. And now mutilating just the word ripple itself and modulating in such a way that's so catchy within the beat. Kind of breaking up there. Let's go into Rubberneck. I like this like scraping sound as well. And these claps like spiraling around us in the mix. What time is it, Arca? Let's snap then. God, that rapid delivery. So catchy in itself. Whoa, where are we going here? Are we transcending into some dream world? Love the more kind of trippy, washed out instrumental too. Oh, Rubberneck. Love that beat switch halfway through as we kind of transcended into some ethereal plane. Another banger. Senorita. Let's keep it going. Great album. Just the energy pushed to the limits. Oh, she hocked you before even that girl did. So ahead of the curve in more ways than one. Oh my God, we're getting heavy in this mix. Oh. Just a moment of calm there. Let's go into the next track here. My 2. Very psychedelic this album has in its DNA. Oh my God, this one is bizarre, even for Arca. Very simple, direct lyricism, but delivered in a way that is anything but simple and direct. And incredibly bouncy and stroke induced. Again, I like she really lets ideas play out on this record and just always kind of plays with them in a different way throughout the outro. I like this sample being looped. Let's go into Intimate Flesh. My two, like I said, catchy. We'll be turning into Mr. T. Mr. T on this track. What an unexpected collab. Oh. What I like about Arca is very clearly she's not making music for the masses. That's very obvious in just, the very experimental nature of her work. But I also like that it doesn't even feel like she's trying to make music for her audience. Like, she doesn't have a core audience she's trying to necessarily, make music for, because each album does feel kind of distinct and unique in its vision. And I think what I like is that it's very clear Arca is just making music that she likes, that she enjoys, that she wants to hear, and she's really hoping, maybe in some regard, that people will join in and enjoy it with her. But at the end of the day, I feel like, audience or not, Arca's gonna make stuff that is entirely unique and entirely herself, which does feel creatively freeing in a way, and kind of leads to some very interesting and boundary pushing, avenues. And I respect it. I have so much respect for Arca, because you don't see it often in an artist to push their sound this way. Let's go into the final track here, Joya. I had a dog named Joya once, so shout out to her for this track. Getting quite angelic on this one. Her vocals are beautiful. God. Very sweet vocals. I like the arrangements on this one too. Very chord-like string element, kind of being almost plucked right off of it. Very echoey, very dreamlike. And just a slow, long, ethereal outro. What a pretty track to close it out. Very different from the rest of the mix, yet still has that same sense of psychedelic kind of stylings to it, I would say. So it still fits within the album's context. And that does it for KicK 3, the third in the KicK series. As you could see, I liked every single track here. If I had to pick, maybe the tracks that didn't hit me as hard, I would say My Two or Intimate Flesh. Mostly Intimate Flesh was probably my least favorite of all of them. But even then, it was great. So I gotta say, all in all, KicK 3, Arca is honed in on this one. I think this has her most distinct vision. I think it has her most fully fleshed out vision. I think this is the best album so far in the KicK series. We'll see if it plays out as the best in general of all 5. But as of right now, at my point in listening to them all, this one instantly feels the most interesting, the most complex at times, the most well layered and most well arranged. The production on these tracks, constantly evolving, constantly dynamic, and going into directions that you never quite expect, and is always engaging in its runtime. Fiora is definitely the one where I feel like she's taking the production to the fullest extent that she could possibly push it, to really show you what she's capable of just musically, vocals aside. But then there's, of course, tracks here where she takes the vocals and she, again, modulates them, changes them in a way that is one and the same with the music itself, and feels kind of transformative and very futuristic in tone. Yet at the same time, as futuristic and as bold and boundary pushing as a lot of this record is, it still has an element that is down to earth. I think it's the more ethereal elements and the psychedelic elements that make this a bit more relatable and easy to take in, especially for people who aren't used to this style and genre. Arca, as bizarre as she is, definitely feels like she is the most unified here and the most digestible she's ever been. And honestly, I've got nothing negative to say. I feel like this is an incredibly just well-made, fast-paced too. Only 35 minutes. It flies by. Even the longest tracks, the longest track here, Fiora, like I said, is perfect. So I don't rate albums typically at the end of my videos. I never do. And it's very rare that I even give a number rating on a record nowadays. But if I were to, just off of a first listen, this is sitting at the very minimum, an 8 out of 10 to a 9. Like, this is a very solid, just concrete, beautiful, passionate record, fully embracing the sound, the psychedelic, the kinks as well in her nature, and just feels magnificent, honestly. I loved it. I'll definitely be giving this one a lot more listens because it's just incredibly catchy. I can't imagine many people who are interested in experimental music not enjoying just the energy that is oozing off this thing. It's so high octane, and it is just incredibly invigorating for the listener. So, Arca, KicK 3, incredible. I said in my last one on KicK 2 that in my opinion, she is more of a producer than she is a singular artist, that she works better to collab with others rather than make her own music. And someone in my comments called me out and said I was wrong. Obviously, to that comment, I disagreed at the time. I still felt pretty strong in that opinion with KicK 2 and KicK 1. But KicK 3, I stand corrected. I think Arca has, in my opinion, at this point, proven herself to be an entirely unique and interesting artist on her own. And I take back what I said. Clearly, I was wrong there. So I stand corrected. KicK 3, an absolute must listen, in my opinion, especially just in electronic music, in deconstructed club is the subgenre I know it belongs to typically. It's just powerful, this stuff, and very potent. But that does it for today's video. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe to follow along in listening to more albums alongside myself. Of course, we're going to do the rest of the KicK series. KicK 4 and 5 will be next. Very excited to check those out, especially after today's listen. And if you want to see this video or all my other KicK videos and the upcoming KicK videos unedited, go ahead and check out the Patreon down below in the description. For $5 a month, you get all my videos, every video I've published this year, which is a ton at this point, unedited. But as always, my name is Rainy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.